All right. Okay. We do approval of agenda, we can talk about diligent, how's that sound? All right, so, I would like to call our meeting to order at 7:08-ish, I guess. And, I'm Katie Dudley, to my right is Justin Black, to my left is Kevin McDermott. And then Marie, how do you say your last name? Reisdorfer, Marie. And then Dawn is absent this evening. And she's got too much of a headache to come, so I don't blame her. Right. And then Jeff is here and Lee is over here. And Mayor Eichhorst is also joining us today. He has a presentation for us, so that is wonderful. All right. So thank you, Ryland and Rachel and Marie for working on the agenda here. So would anyone like to approve?
It's not important, but my name is spelled incorrectly.
Yes. It's M-A-N-G.
M-A-N-G.
And it's very important. Is it still S-O-N?
Yes.
Okay.
Other than that, I have no problem with the agenda. Motion to approve.
All right.
I'll second that.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, Maria, at this time, could you just explain to us what diligent is and how the city is wanting to use it? Oh, yes. All those in favor in approving the agenda, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Takes a village. Motion carried. Thank you, Justin. All right. Marie.
Yeah. So Diligence, a software that we've been using for city council meetings, and others, I think we're trialing it. One, it helps with being able to do like an asynchronous type way of having people put in items, and it has a template of how you fill it out. So there's a little more background than like, I want this added. And so it helps kind of bring it all together for Rachel and Jason and Mel to be able to create it. It does print out a standard book, which I think is important for all of the different committees as well. So it does have kind of a templated format. Anyone, I think I talked to Jason, everyone on this committee has access to it. So I can send out the link that you can go in there. It's pretty easy. It's a Word doc. You pick your committee and where you want it on the agenda, and then it gets submitted to be approved to be added. So it's really just a way to stop maybe the emails into Rachel and others where things are getting forgotten. It's all within the platform itself. There's pros and cons to it. It doesn't always work the greatest, but it probably gives us a little bit more of just consistency than the cons at this point. So if we want to use it, I would confirm with Jason, but I think everyone has access to it. So I can send out the link, and I'm happy to do kind of a tutorial. It's quite easy once you get in there, but
What's the name of it again?
Diligent.
Diligent.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then do we have to create a sign-in name and
No.
password or nothing like
I
that?
do think, yep, I do, well, I shouldn't say no. I do think that you would have to create like a email. Like it would have your email and then you'd have a password to sign in, so it knows it's you.
All right. We'll look forward to more information on that. How long is Jason gone?
A week, I think.
Right, okay. So by next week, you know, I like it. Hey. Did any of you get a chance to look at our previous meeting minutes that I sent the other day?
Yes.
I don't think I'm on the emails, but I don't get them.
So are you getting anything from Parks and Trails?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Part of my trouble is that whole blind copying. So I guess October 5th would have just been yesterday. I think Justin actually sent them directly to you, possibly.
I usually send them to you and Jason and Rachel is who I usually send them to.
All right.
So I don't usually include anybody else. I can start.
I think you forwarded it to me, Katie. So I don't know if you forwarded it to everybody else.
So I sent that actually probably only last night, wasn't it? Let's see. Yeah, do you see one, Marie, from last night from Parks and Trails? I can never figure out.
No.
Oh, I can see the blind copy. So I have your.
Okay.
But I can just send it again.
Okay, let me try to refresh, but I don't see.
Yeah, I am pleased I can see my blind copy because sometimes you can't even see who you blind copied. I'm just like, I need to know who I sent this to. All right. All right, so Joy, did you have something you wanted to say about
No,
it? Did it look pretty good?
so has everybody had it? If I missed it, I'm sorry. Everybody had a chance to read it or see it? I wonder if Justin has it available, if you could just read it. So out loud, it's a shorter one.
I can do it
perhaps.
for you.
I
Yeah,
did start, the format kind of follows the format of our agenda now, so it kind of flows a little bit better, I think. So yeah, just kind of, let me know.
It's very small print.
Yep.
You got it.
I did get it.
Good.
well, Marie, I'm sending it not
Okay.
from Parks and Trails, but from something else just because it's faster. Okay, so we did a call to order at 7:05. And I'm just gonna skip to the guts of it, if that's okay with you guys. So discussion and action items were the grant opportunity Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation grants to help small towns. There is a match of $2,500 that we could include in the 2026 budget if needed. This has been submitted. And then more benches in each park. Marie has asked for inventory. Kane has provided 35 wood picnic tables, 26 metal picnic tables, 8 permanent picnic tables, and we will discuss further in October. And then we didn't talk much about anything from city council minutes. The pickleball courts have been painted on the basketball court at City Hall. We need to purchase some pickleball nets. Lions Club may provide nets. Parks and Trails Strategic Goals 2025, Riverwood Hills Park and Orinoco Park Trail estimates have been completed. Host 2 community park cleanup and planting events is being planned. Infrastructure assessments is in progress. Seek capital improvement plan funds to pave Riverwood Hills Park and Orinoco Park trails. $20,000 per year CIP and $1,500 annually for smaller projects has been submitted for approval on future parks budgets. Park sign standardization, Jeff and Lance have looked into this and feel the current signage is sufficient. Discussion on adding QR codes to signs for inquiries, recommendations, and information on parks. There's under Orinoco Park, it was approved use of $2,700 from the H-Friendly Olmsted County grant to obtain city engineer cost estimates for paving trails. I have to say I'm confused. What trails are we gonna pave at? Oh, I know what we're doing. Can we add a line? Pave trails from the parking lot to the shelter. Let's do that, because that's what we're talking about,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that's from the parking area, that circle to the pavilion. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it obvious as to where you park at Orinoco Park? I don't think it is unless you've lived here as long as us. But I don't know has anyone ever complained about that, that's had events there? They just kind of figure it out that you go ahead and park on the grass,
Pretty common.
right?
Everybody either parks in the median or the off to the side, all the way around, whatever they gotta do, however many people. I don't know, I've never seen really anybody have any problem figuring it out, but
And
But-
this would come later, you know, when we are actually designing where the paved trail would go, we would wanna have that related to the handicap parking and whatnot too, but that's for later. Anyway, so my suggestion to add is just, trail from parking lot to the shelter. Under garden park, Don brought up that the prairie grasses that had been previously planted have been getting mowed. Joy motions for mowing only picnic area and side of road and allow this area to become prairie grass and pollinator area. Also, by spring of 2026, have a sign installed to designate prairie area. Dawn seconds, the motion carries. Riverwood Hills Park approved use of the $2,700 age-friendly Olmsted County grant to obtain city engineer cost estimates for paving trails. So why does it come up twice? Because it's under strategic goals
Yeah.
and then when it was talked about. Okay. And then Jeff, my favorite thing, Memorial Park, possible basketball pickleball court in the future. Ta-da. All right. And then new business. So Dawn would like to add community events to the agenda moving forward. That's probably a good idea. Katie motions to advertise the National Public Lands Day on the Orinoco Facebook page. Justin seconds, the motion carries. National Public Lands Day is Saturday, September 27, 9 to noon. This will be advertised on the Orinoco Facebook page, hoping for volunteers. Kane has provided some options. Age Friendly Orinoco is hosting a day to help local residents with property maintenance. This will be held on Saturday, October 25 from 10 to 1. Volunteers will meet at the community center. And then our next meeting is October 6th at the community center. And Kevin motions to adjourn at 8:15, Marie seconds, and the motion carries. So does anyone have anything to add to September meeting minutes?
No.
Nope. Lee, do you like them?
I like them. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
All right. So Kevin and Jeff, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. It appears to me like we have agenda approval twice, so. You can review that with Rachel, however that works. And then. So moving on, we did have, some things that Marie emailed. Because city council did approve up to $250 for a sign.
$50.
Oh, okay. Okay, up to $50 was approved.
Yep, so we
For,
got the mowing plan that we modified, approved, so we're not gonna mow, for Garden Park, and then a $50 sign for whatever, if it's a pollinator or back to prairie grass or whatever, so we can get that.
Nice.
So. I think Dawn shared a couple of them, they were like $20, so if we wanna get two for 50, we can do that.
Right, okay. Awesome. And then Marie, was there more from city council? I think you had told me something else from.
Just that was discussed. Of the parks and trails. The only other thing just to be aware of, it's budget season, so the preliminary budget got approved on the 24th. The general levy was about 1.9 million. It will go through a couple more rounds of review, before it's finalized over the next couple of months, so that also includes for parks and trails, the paving of the paths are in there. And then I think I need to talk to Jason. I think it was $15,000 or $2,000 for us to use as discretionary funds for this committee. Every year, so we don't have to go to city council every time we want to buy flowers or do something. We would have some funds available for us to make some of those decisions here. I think those were the kind of big ticket items for parks and trails on the budget.
Anything with that SIP we're asking for, 20,000 a year.
We haven't talked about that yet for CIPs, yep. That's in there too, so we'll see where it all shakes out, but everyone had CIP funds in there, which I think is a good idea, so we can start to plan for it.
Okay, I apologize, as the adopt a bench didn't get on here.
It's okay.
Now, where do we want to put that? Under strategic goals? Yeah, because, okay, so this first big chunk is talking about city council things. And then there's a legal section. So would that go under strategic goals? I think so. And then so unfortunately, this is just kind of a repeat of the minutes. But that's all right, we'll make it. All right. Is there anything else from council?
Not that I can think of, Rylan. Anything else you want to mention?
Can you think of anything from the
Anything from
council?
city council besides budget?
That's pretty much majority of the meeting, yeah.
Okay. And like you said, Marie, that's gotta go through a couple more things before it's
Couple more
official.
reviews, yep.
All right, well, thank you for all your efforts on that. Awesome. All right, so Rylan, I think it's your turn.
Right? Let me just-
They did write in here that there was a motion to approve this resolution by MinDOT to allow public access. Okay, so we're
So-
gonna go over it, right?
So I received this is something that we need to put in place, is a limited use permit from the MnDOT. For us to sign, for the council to approve. And so I had Joe. So they needed a map. Like this discussion. So we took, what you have there is an engineering drawing of when we did the river restoration, the dam removal. We had to provide an access under Lake Shady Avenue, goes underneath the north and southbound to get us to the lake bed. So, that path was there. It was originally, the approach of using that pathway was approved by MnDOT when we did the dam removal and everything, so. So we want to take it to the next step so we can publicly use the whole access. There is a 6-page limited use permit contract application, I should say, that I'll have our city attorney look at it, make sure it's okay. But what they need from us is a resolution. Unfortunately, the copier ran out of print. I couldn't print the resolution off, so this is their format, but we'll take this resolution format, it has to be notarized, and we'll put it into our normal resolution folder form and have it. I also like to have it, and I found out today that you want it notarized, and Rachel can do that there, she's a notary, so. So again, just to kind of emphasize, we also send copies along of the master plan of why we are looking for the access under these 3 lanes here. So that was all part of the application that we sent to MnDOT. Just a quick update, the right-of-way fence is, as far as I know, it has not been installed yet, but by the end of October. So they've mowed and cleared trees where the fence will go. And hopefully that'll be done in October, so.
Yeah, I did see the vehicles down there the other day.
What's that?
I did see some construction like vehicles
Mhm.
down there.
An excavator, I saw that,
Okay,
Yeah.
I know that they're also,
backhoe.
Jason Ottman is also repairing the flood damage from a year ago.
Ah, so that's what
Under
the
the
pile
bridge,
of
too.
trees were?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably what we saw. Jeff was
Yeah, I think
then
so.
doing that. Okay,
How far off the highway did they mow for the fence?
It was just about a 6-foot path.
Okay, but how far from the edge of the edge of 52, the highway, that
Yeah,
northbound
where the
lane,
right of way is at, I think it's 100 feet.
is it 100 feet in off
Right,
the
from
pavement?
The edge of the 150 feet, something like that. It's pretty, it follows it pretty close.
Okay,
It's the right of way fence, where the right of way is.
yeah, that's, I guess that's what I was curious about, is how far into the lake bed or off the highway it went.
Yeah, right of way. Stays right along the right of way, so. And that'll be a Minnesota, MnDOT standard highway right of way fence, so. I think it's 6 foot, something like that, so. So I guess what I'd like to ask her is a motion to recommend approval of the limited use permit to go to the council so we can discuss it at our meeting next week or week of the 21st. Any questions for me?
Yes, I did read through that, and it says you can't place any structures. Are they allowing you to, are they calling a pathway a structure?
Pathway where the fence goes.
Isn't, you're talking about a walking trail, right?
Under the bridges, it'd be like there is a 10-foot
Right,
extension, yeah.
so do you just mow the path or the walkway, or are you?
It's all sand and rock.
Okay.
All the way into the entrance to the park, and then whatever you do in the park itself, the grass, yeah. Well, it'd probably be mowed, yeah.
Okay.
Or it could be gravel too, whatever we
Okay.
decided.
That's what I was wondering, is when they're saying no structure can be placed in there without their approval.
Oh,
So,
under the bridge, yeah.
so that's why I was just wondering, what they were, if they would constitute, like if we decided to pave it or rock it,
Mhm.
if you can do that.
It was rock when we put it in there for the dam removal and they had rock in there, of course, yeah.
Okay. And then the other thing I saw in there was that it's on the city's responsibility to renew that every 10 years, and if you don't, you lose the permit.
Okay,
So the city should have some type of mechanism. I mean, in 10 years, I may not be here in
Yeah.
10 years.
something on.
To trigger that, so like at 9 years, we need to get this done. They give you 90-day leeway. And if you don't apply for that, to extend it, it's null and void.
Okay.
So that would be my concern
Sure.
would be that.
That's a good point.
And I'm sure that's how they do it, but there has to be a mechanism with the city so you don't lose it.
Yeah, we should make sure it gets on the community calendar 10 years from now, or in a November timeframe, or
Right.
whatever the date is signed, so.
Yeah.
Oops.
Those were just a couple of my
Yeah.
points that came up to me.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
a good idea, yeah. I would like to, trying to figure out what the city could put that on so that that doesn't get missed. Like I said, a lot of us, some of us might not be here, or they might, so that,
Yeah, I think a community calendar or,
And even sooner than 10
like
years.
I said, we can incorporate something. Resolution.
Right.
You don't look at 10 years from now.
Is this didn't we already give them some money or something? So this is different than the money that we gave for some land?
Yeah, we purchased the properties along the right of way that were the peninsulas that went out into the lake.
Okay,
MnDOT bought those properties with bonding bill money when they did the reconstruction of 52. So they bought those houses. They used bonding bill money, so that's why we had to pay money to get the bonding bill money off of their records as far as being paid for, so.
right, and then,
But
so this is just talking about
yeah, it's just the official request to use the path into the MnDOT right of way.
but to still have the barricade on the frontage road so that it's not for vehicles, it's just for
Well, I think the
pedestrian
plan
use?
is to put in removable posts
Okay,
So if we have to have access with the skid steer or mowing or whatever the case may be, or taking down lumber to build the gazebo or tables, we can pull those posts out and then put the post back in so you can't drive down that pathway.
yeah, cause I imagine Jason got in there because he used his excavator or whatever to move
Oh, yeah,
he's got.
they were down that once already with trying to pull out all the logs and that was jammed up against the bridge piers too, so.
Now, that was done through, flood
We
damage?
received funding for flood damage. We didn't get a FEMA 100%, but we got 75% from the state. And the 25% is owed by the city.
And this is where I get confused, right? Because we're talking about this right of way under here, which is different than the river, I would imagine, and that's why Jason Ottman could be clearing things under the bridge and under the river for the city.
Well,
Then-
we were asked to clean the debris from the bridge pilings because county has a depth finder or recording the speeds of the level of the
Yes.
river.
Yep,
And so when that dammed up earlier this spring, from all the debris, they couldn't record the depth of the river. So that's why we had to move, or the city's responsibility is to clear those logs out. So that's why.
because the city's responsibility is the river, where right now MinDOT is the land under the bridges, but that's what this.
Well, I think the
LUP is.
river itself belongs to the state or the city.
Yeah, it's all complicated. Yeah, okay. Well, that's cool. Well, I do like what Joy mentioned is how will we remember to renew this? And,
And we can put that as a statement in the resolution too, just to draw attention to
right,
the resolution, so. But I think the community calendar 10 years from now, you can go out 10 years
right.
with stuff on it now, so.
okay. This is in that 17-page email that I sent you guys, except you can't open it, right?
I wasn't able to, I didn't,
Right, but Joy, I appreciate the information that you found in there, to look at. And then, yeah, it does say a non-motorized trail. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, the permittee's use of the area is limited to only the constructing, maintaining, and operating a non-motorized trail. And the use thereof may be further limited by blah, 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 all the things, okay. All right, well, I make a motion to approve this going to council because council will, be looking at it again too, but. Any further discussion? All right.
Motion to recommend.
Yeah, you really, don't,
Yeah, I have to make a motion to recommend to approve resolution 2025-21. So that's what I'm saying.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And Ryland, thanks for all your work on this.
Sure.
And this is different than the fence, though.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what's
It's all
confusing,
tied together,
right?
but it's a separate subject.
Separate,
MDOT's
yes.
perspective.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Okay. All right, so now. Oh yeah, so then there's even a link to that stuff. Once we start figuring out diligent, okay. And then, is this previous where it says have city attorney review the limited use permit language? Did the attorney already look at it?
It's just a reminder, we should have the city attorney look at all of our contracts.
Okay. It's more of a reminder. Okay. Well, this would be when, I'd like to talk about the Adopt a Bench program. Lee, you had sent us some good information on that, I think in September, the Adopt a Bench.
no.
I did.
I replied to it, said I wouldn't be there, and I thought it looked great.
Well, that's fair. Well, Well, I don't mean to give him the credit, right? I know. Okay, so, I don't know if everyone got to see that.
Do you wanna
Yeah,
try
what can I do?
Joy, do you wanna try to admit me? I can try to share my screen.
Here, I
think
can
it's-
mess with
I think
it.
it's enabled.
All right.
It might not.
Oh,
Yes, there it is, right at the top.
okay. I just have to wake up the mouse and get it back in the right spot. Okay.
Alright, let's see.
Fantastic in progress. All right. Which one do we need to do?
She should know.
I. Get feedback here.
So if I mute my audio.
Here. Only the host can share.
You look like you're sharing.
Mari's iPad's muted.
Yeah, I just can't share my screen.
Well, here it should say. We do that. Did that help? I said, multiple participants can share.
Let me try. Alright.
And then there's these. And it looks to me like it's not gonna let me. Done that.
Maybe click out of that. Do the X.
Oh, there we go. And it's not echoing as bad, right?
Sorry, I can't turn mine off. I have it all the way off, so. Right.
Fantastic. Okay,
Okay, it's probably gonna format funny, so I apologize, but I can send it out later, so I'm on a little screen. So this would be something that we could put out on our community calendar or maybe not community calendar, but on the Facebook page or just be able to share some of that information out to the public on what we want to do. So this would be in relation to the maybe adopt a bench or donate a bench program. And so what we did is pulled together some different size benches that Kane put together. They are non-wood, they're like the gray kind of metal with the rubber outside. You can see the two little boys sitting on them. So the costs are in there. And then what we would look to do is maybe identify what parks and where we would want them, and then people could pick where they wanted to do them. The one thing that I need to talk to Kane about is he'd like to do a cement pad under the bench. They don't have to try to mow. That is not included in those funds or those costs in the 4, 6, and 8 foot bench. And then we'd also like an option of doing like a plaque if they wanted to do it in memory or honor or whatever. That would maybe be something extra. So we'd have to get some of all those costs associated. So that's just kind of giving people what we're trying to do with some costs associated. And then here's some information about what it would take, right? So we'd want to have them complete an application. We'd want to figure out what size they'd want to pick, where they'd want to put it. We could provide them some detailed cost breakdown. We'd require full payment, and then shipping is about 4 to 6 weeks, again, depending on when they do that, right? If it's in the middle of winter, Public Works isn't gonna install a bench in the middle of winter, but we can work through that and give them some idea of when we'd actually do it. And then again, I think it would be something that we'd want to think about as a committee of if they are doing it in honor of someone, maybe have a dedication ceremony or a personalized thank you letter or something for that. And so I put in, if people are interested, we can contact Parks and Trails, call us or whatever that would look like. So maybe a little bit more information that I still need from Keen, but just to put something together for people to react to. I think the other thing we should think about is where we want them to be installed, so we don't have everyone wanting to put a bench on Riverwood Park. You know, what is that long-term plan? How many do we want? If we run out of spaces, that's a good problem to have. But just to try to give them like a map of what we're thinking too. So that would be a next step of getting some of our trails identified where we'd want a bench. And then putting that as kind of another opportunity to add in here for a location for them to select.
That's great.
So what do we do with it next?
I would say the next would be if this, so not hearing ourselves.
So I think that is really a great thing that you put together. I think the cost of the cement pad, the city's already saving money not having to purchase the benches if we do it at donation. So I would think that it might be on the city's dime that they could place a cement pad, you know, in a way, you could see what the cost was.
Sure.
They could probably do that in-house, I would think.
Yeah, it's not gonna be very big, yeah.
Yeah, just something like that. Couple weekends ago, I was at a small town. And I observed they had the benches, like we talked, cement pad. And right in the cement pad is where they put the plaque. And that really looked nice to put that right in there and not try to figure out how to put it on the bench. So I thought if somebody wanted to dedicate something, you would want to know that right at that time when you're doing the cement pad.
Yeah,
I think
you
that
want it
would
in
be
the
good.
cement versus on the bench.
Yeah. And I think you're right. We should decide how many benches do we need and where do we want them located? You know, get some information from Kane, but also it should be somewhat our decision. We should get to know our parks more, probably to help that out. Just some of my thoughts. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think too, you know, when they look at these benches, it's nice to have them right in the park, but I'm not opposed to, I don't know, if and when the trails get paved. I mean, Riverwood Hills, that trail is quite long to get, say, and put a couple staggered
Yeah.
along the trail, just for, you know, especially older people, anybody that wants to stop and take a rest or need a rest. And a bench along the trails, so that's an idea too, to scatter a few of them along the trail.
I think I like the idea of it along the trails. Because I think in the parks, we already have some picnic tables, we have places to sit, we have some permanent benches. So I think it would be good not to just have them along the park.
Yeah,
I think a prerequisite would be like, take each park, Orinoco Park, here's our designated areas, we want benches.
Right.
And they can pick, once those are gone, you know, we have to move to another park. But you're right, I think we should kind of pick and choose where we want them.
Right.
So yeah, we can't say somebody wants, I want to know that maple tree out there or the oak tree over here. No, it's just,
Right. Right.
we should have some say in that.
I made a note, but I don't know if you would be able to do it faster than I. What would AARP recommend as a distance? I wonder, I bet you they have something.
I can make myself a note and check. I'm sure we can figure that out. We'll bring it up at our next meeting. See if somebody has some input on that, how many feet. I'll do some looking too.
Yeah, we were just at William O'Brien State Park this last weekend, and it was really nice how many nice benches, are available. And I think that would be an interesting decision to make, like. Right now, we don't have too many requests for it, but we're also getting bigger, right? Our city's getting bigger. And so depending on, like you say, if you have. I even saw rocks that were in memory of someone, and that's a little different. But if the benches get saturated, there's other ways. But thank you, Joy, for looking into that.
I question on the lake bed. You're gonna have quite a distance for people to walk. Can we place a bench there if it's cemented? Is there any, I saw wetlands, so you could not place it in a wetland area. But are we able to place anything, or is that not a good idea?
Yeah, that's a good question, because when they designed this river, well, they placed, if you notice it, maybe not now, but in the spring, there's been a 5-foot berm, kind of just follows this area here. So that prevents the flooding into those wetlands. But at the same time, it allows the flood waters to go back into the channel. So I would hope, we wouldn't have any floods that would be above that berm. So that's a place where you could put benches versus putting them closer to here, because it does flood the water in the bank. Water will come out of the banks, or has in the past. So there's a good opportunity for some along the berms, and then even along this area over here. There's a slight berm here because we took all the dirt out of here. We placed it along that right of way too, so.
How recent was that?
Well, when they did the work back in 2016, 2017.
It is still from 2016,
Yeah,
2017.
that's the design, yeah.
Okay.
But that'd be an excellent place for a viewpoint and overlooking the river.
The one thing I noticed when we were in Orinoco Park, there was that one nice, it wasn't wood, but it's like the perma wood one that was the bench that was donated or in honor
In
of.
Dave Olson's
Yeah.
name, that one.
I don't know if you guys like that one better than the like webbed looking one. To me, the wood one looked a little bit nicer. I don't know if it upkeeps as well as like the steel with the rubber coating. I mean, that was just the bench that Kane sent us, but I don't know if it's super
That is a nice bench. It's been a while since I've
nice.
seen it, but be something to look at, because it's been installed for,
So that's the material. What is that?
all that said, well, it's similar to the
It's like the Trek deck.
Trek deck, yeah.
Which it looks a little bit nicer than the plastic metal-y one, but I mean, I'm assuming it probably comes at a cost, but
Trex will be more of a lifetime. The rubbery one, if you do get a crack in it, she's gonna start peeling.
yeah.
That will be a problem. So,
And if it's
yeah.
black, it's hot, I mean, you
Yeah.
think about hot, and like it's sticky, like I don't know.
Sentimental.
So again, I think it's our
That's-
committee to figure out if we like that
Oh, it is, okay.
view. I mean, if it's
Correct.
$3,000, I don't know if anyone's gonna donate $3,000.
Hey, there's a lot of people in this neighborhood, a lot of people in this town that might want a more premium option. You have a couple options. Oh, yes, Trex, yeah.
Yeah, and then have some thoughts. If it doesn't take off and we don't get as many people
Yep.
wanting to put in a bench as we might need, maybe have some option where we know we're gonna purchase one bench a year.
Yeah.
And then if we have somebody donate, that's the extra one, so.
And I think there's even opportunities for like the Lions Club or Boy Scouts or like some of those, I think they may want to do it too for an organization versus individuals. So I think there's probably an opportunity to market this not just to residents, but even to some of the, groups that help support the community. I would say that they might want to do a bunch too. if you guys like that wood one better, I can ask Kane about pricing options and we can talk about that. I mean, to me, $800 is probably still a little high, but maybe a little more doable if people want to do it. But if it's $4 or $5 grand, I don't know.
That might be.
If anyone would want to do that, maybe, I don't know, but I would say next steps is I could get some pricing options. We'd probably want to work with Kane on what would be an ideal long-term plan of where we'd want benches and how could we make that like marketable for people to look at and say, I want bench A as well, so.
And maybe even just start putting a word out that we're thinking about doing this, and every so often just put a blurb out so it gets in people's head that this is something we're looking at.
And is this something we would want to present at council or not yet, right? Probably not till
Probably not yet.
November, December or something?
I
For a
don't,
while.
I mean, I
Now
don't,
We're ready.
I don't think we're probably ready yet. Plus, I mean, it probably would just be an awareness at council because we're not asking them for anything. And even if we do it, right, we would have $2,000 at our disposal to say, Ian, can you put the cement down for us?
I was just looking, cause you can kill a lot of time digging, forming concrete slabs. I'm just looking here, and you can buy a 24 by 48 inch by 3 inch thick slab for $122 on Amazon. So, I mean, you can almost just buy, 10 of those and have them and just dig them in, level them, some concrete screws and, screw them into that. And there's your slab.
I'd say a couple bags of concrete might not be
It's,
real expensive either, but
But the time,
Yeah,
having
labor,
it,
yeah.
getting water down there and mixing everything up and
They get 2 people out there working for
shoveling.
2 hours
Mhm.
and they get $40 an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably
A
right.
bag of concrete doesn't cost too much.
Yep.
everything else.
People do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flavor.
All
So
right.
if that sounds like a good plan, I can work with Ian on that.
That'd be great.
And I'll send that PowerPoint. It formats weird on my iPad, so,
Well, you did send it on September 8th
okay,
to a lot of people.
okay.
I ended up sending it to you again, Joy. But Jeff, I sent it
have
to
your
you new,
email.
so I sent
My
it to
name
you
is
today.
All right.
That's easy.
All right.
It's actual my name, actually.
Fine.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So that did come through on September 8th, but you might make some adjustments to it.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Great. So since our agenda is a little messed up, I just want to take this opportunity to talk about September 27th. So can I just give you an update on how that went? We had five people altogether. 3 master naturalists, including Dawn. And then myself and Rylan. We met at Orinoco Park and you were able to stake 2 trees, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we were able to stake 2 trees along the riverbed. We put mulch around 3 trees. And then Andrea and I want to say her name is Denise, were the master naturalists that were here. And they were pulling thistle. And what other things? What did I miss, Rylan, when I had to go?
Picking up seed for
Yeah, seed heads.
future plants, I guess.
Oh, okay, so they did do
Sure
some,
do that, but
yeah, that's possible,
I'm
yes.
sure I know they were digging up thistles.
Yeah, that was impressive. So, it does sound like there's smaller trees across the river that could maybe
Yeah, there's some,
benefit from staking, but that would be a matter of not having to walk with all the stakes, but I guess it wouldn't be that bad.
yeah, there's some small trees at the very south branch. We were at the north branch, but on the south branch, where the path is at, just a bit further east down up or towards the dam or towards the bridge. There's a half a dozen trees that are smaller that need to be staked up.
How soon does something like that have to happen, I wonder?
Probably 2 years ago.
Right? Oh, boy.
Anytime Anytime.
Because that area is not mowed where those trees are necessarily, I mean, not yet too. Yeah. And they're not gonna be where that fence goes,
Oh, no, this is down Lug River.
right? Is it still on this map or is it more across from the houses,
About where you pointed your finger there and going up. the top of the page.
right? Going up this
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, on the north side of that south front.
All right, I should maybe go take a look at that or something. Cause you used how many stakes per tree,
We just used two because they were just pulled back there.
right?
If we need to have three, that'd be the most, yeah.
All right. I just don't know when and how that would happen unless we just wait till the next September 27th Public Lands Day,
It'd be done anytime because of the holiday.
right? Yeah, it doesn't have to be done
Yeah.
as a big group or anything. All right. All right, something to think about then. Okay, so what, October 25th? Can you tell us what's happening with that?
Oh, yes, so the age-friendly Orinoco area. We're looking for volunteers to help residents, elderly residents. Kind of take care of their outside chores that need to be done in the fall, raking leaves, maybe cutting back perennial gardens. Possibly moving small furniture into their garage if they need to do that for the winter. So far, I think we have at least 3 people that want the help. All of our committee members, so 5 of us, all 6, because we have Angela too, have signed up to help. Plus, we have a couple other people from the community. So something where it's kind of ongoing. So if anybody knows a neighbor that could use a little help, we'd like to offer that to them. 3 hours is what we're looking at doing from 10 to 1, Saturday, October 25. So it's just something we're starting. It was one of our goals that we had found that we thought would be appropriate for the area. So that's what we're hoping to do.
I can think of a couple people to check to make sure. Yeah, I gotta think about that. All right. Okay. What's next? If you have any reports for any individual parks right now, or we're probably just in between. Marie, when you visited with Kane about the picnic benches, or the picnic tables, did he say like there were probably a lot at Orinoco Park because they're gearing up to put them under the shelter, I think, for the winter?
I think they just moved them there from Gold Rush.
Oh, okay.
But I've noticed like at Riverwood Hills, they put a couple out there, which is nice.
Where they haven't had them.
Yep, so
Very
they've been moving them
Okay.
around, but I think they put them there just for getting them out of downtown.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he has like a rotation of how many new ones he wants every year and stuff like
We've
that.
done 10 in the past. 10
Right.
years.
Okay,
Well, it must be looking, I think you said there are 28 new ones now.
wow, nice, yeah. Where are we at with the trails at Riverwood Park? We're having to do some engineering now, maybe, or not even that close?
Engineering, well, Stantec did a engineering cost of just what it would cost, so that's going into the budget for the year, for next
Okay.
2026. So if that gets approved, then we go through the whole process of
Thanks.
bids and building and all of those things too, but
Okay,
Joe did write up an estimate, so that was the $2,700 that we got approved. So that's done.
And but the cost estimate was pretty high, wasn't it?
Yeah,
150?
yep, it was like
Order 220 or
215 for both. So Joe recommended if we didn't wanna do it all, for Riverwood, we could do one piece of it and then do the second. I think each of them were like. Well, I should look.
63.
60 something, I think I have it written down, and then Orinoco Park was like 13. So I think overall it was like 130 or 140 or something. But that's in the budget for next year, so if that gets approved, then we'll work on getting that actually done.
Okay, great.
And then, the grant that you applied for is the end of this month, we find out?
Yep. And that's for the exercise equipment that we put forward.
Yeah, that's great.
And Joy sent me some pictures about some parks
Yeah, I
that
don't,
had it.
Yeah, when I was on vacation, I went to this little town, Alcanto, Wisconsin, it's northeastern Wisconsin, and it had this exercise equipment, just like we've been talking about, and a whole station all together. And then they had directions how to do it, all part of a billboard on each one. And it was really put together really nice. I had some pictures, I don't know if you want to see it, but I'd have to find them.
I know, right?
Um,
Well, and they have examples of that, so there's a Mayo Clinic branch, I guess, way south by South Target.
so,
And they have a outdoor exercise trail down there too. So when we get closer,
Yeah.
we could encourage each other to go check that out too. And see what we like about that one.
And there's a lot of different companies that do that. I think the one I talked to, just to get a cost estimate, they said with about 1,200, they could do about 4 to 5 different
yeah.
pieces, depending on how big. Some of them are pretty big and do a lot of different things. Those get a little more expensive.
Energy Total, Energy Prime. Oh. Okay,
So we'll hear more about it.
That's good.
That's great.
we talked much about where we'd want to put it.
I think we were thinking Orinoco Park. But we could do wherever.
Like between the pavilion and the parking lot. 'Cause that's level.
Or even in the middle of like the walkway, I don't know.
Oh, that'd be
I mean, I mean, we could go wherever. We'd have to work with Joe on like where it would fit from a plot and we'd need a base, right? And I don't know how much
Yeah.
like some of that
Kinds of
would
things to do.
cost, so we'd have to work on it if we got the grant, what it would all entail. Most of those have like the squishy, spongy,
Several.
Oh, yes,
base that go
sure.
underneath them. I don't know if you have to, then you'd wanna do something so they wouldn't have to try to mow around them too, so.
Are we, Ryland, are we at a point where we could propose even putting it in where the campground was? Cause I don't know if we have do we have any interest in making that a campground again?
Where?
At Orinoco Park?
Until we get a sewer hookup and the money for a sewer hook, that's the only time I don't think it's gonna happen in the near future, but that would be nice if they were sewer hookups, but it's just 8 sites too, it's not a big
Yeah.
camping area.
Right, that'd be some brainstorming.
Want to put it down by the playground.
Well, that's what I was thinking, that
I mean,
this is so
you know,
far
people are
away.
working out, they want people walking around them and watching them, up on the hill. There,
Well, yeah. Yeah, just thinking about location would be something to do, so I like it. All right, when we had EDA when we had someone that was here for EDA, I think she said something to me about if I really want a basketball court, I could almost reach out to teams or something. Like, I don't know. To get a basketball court at Memorial Park. Yeah, she was saying that there could be some funding that we could find. And obviously, who needs to approve doing that? I guess we recommend.
EDA would make a recommendation to council to, would ask for grant money. I'm assuming that's what you'd ask for versus a budget money.
Or would Parks do it?
It might be on our
because it's-
action plan too. I can take a look at it.
Or would Parks make that recommendation since it's in the park?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I've been here a long time, but I haven't been here long enough to like even remember how. You know, cause the tennis court kind of, that was right when River Park started, right?
The
They,
tennis courts came later.
They did.
that was
There's a
put
basketball
in,
court for many
yeah, the
years,
developer.
maybe
Oh,
8 years
Oh,
ago.
that was.
Painted the stripes for tennis.
okay. I was here when we were working on getting handicap parking at Memorial Park. I don't remember how we got to do it, but it just took a while. You know, the whole
Yeah.
process.
Remember that,
I would, if it's not in your CIP budget, I would suggest you put it in there. At least get some awareness. I think it has been discussed, but it's just a matter of getting the
Right.
priority and the funding to do that.
And what were you gonna say, Joy?
I was just gonna say River Park, the tennis courts and some of that, all that stuff just kind of appeared when they were putting it in. One of the people that worked on it, not Chuck, it's not Steve Chuck, but one of the people that was going to live out there, he wanted that. So
Oh.
they could just kind of put that in on their own dime.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of how I remember.
Yeah, I think so. I think
All of a sudden it appeared and we went, what?
And then now we maintain it, right? I love it. Okay. Cool. I don't know. Do you have anything else? Trying to think.
I know we talked about pickleball nets out there, and I know Jason and Kane threw out like getting some nets for people to use. I think it just makes it a little bit challenging of, do you rent it? What happens if they damage it? Where is it stored? If no one's here at City Hall, how do they rent it out? Or do we just require them to bring their
I-
own?
That's what's been happening the few times I went by and people are out there playing, they bring their own nets.
Okay, maybe we just,
And the fact is, the city, you know, we got it painted and it looks great and they'll bring their own nets and I've seen them a few different times driving by and somebody's got nets set up and they're playing and they take them down. They're pretty evidently fairly simple to
Yeah.
do. So I, at the present time, I think we let it be unless we start getting a request from the public that we would like option to
Yeah.
get rent nets or pick them up from the city hall during work. But it's, you know, there's only so many, I don't know, times that you're gonna be able to do that. I mean, staff would have to be here in order for them to get a net, I think.
Yeah.
So.
maybe if we decide we want a dedicated pickleball,
Yeah.
and then we have it just permanently installed, where this, right, it's a basketball court too, so you can't ground them in there. So, okay,
Okay.
works for me.
All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn until November 3.
I'll second it.
All right. Fantastic. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, fantastic. Well, thanks everybody for all of your efforts in between and your patience with this whole diligent. So, thank you so much. All right. Oh yeah, we can turn that on, right? Okay.
I'll send